All right, welcome everyone to the iNRS series. Tonight we are in New Hampshire for tonight's New Hampshire 160. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. I'm Rick Souza here with John DeRudris. And John, a lot of things going on tonight at this track.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff going on in tonight's New Hampshire 160. It's going to be a great battle on track. We have a lot of playoff news to talk about, point battles, who's hot, who's not, all this different stuff. But we're at the iNRS New Hampshire 160, so it's going to be a fun, interesting night to see where these drivers end up. Looking at this, the previous winner was a former member and reigning champion, Jeff Brogdon. That was the previous winner of this lovely circuit. And really quick, let's just dive right into points. So Jordan Booth, Jordan Winsel, still at the top of the board with Corey Bunch +4. In third place, Alex Murphy in fourth, Travis Bennett +1 in fifth, Brendan Hayes -3 in sixth, Tyler Lem -2 in seventh, Alex Forget-Ruby nice and happy in P8, Vernon Broadbeck up 1 to ninth, and Michael Whitley up 1 into 10th.
Yeah, and absolutely, that takes us kind of right into the current playoff standings with those drivers with this series. As we chip away towards the playoff and then the cuts, we've got 10 positions are already filled with winners and repeat winners, but the real battles are 11th, 12th, 13th, etc. And there are currently 2 drivers that won't be here tonight so far. Of course, there's still time, but they're having network and computer issues. That is going to be Travis Bennett. Of course, Travis is locked in, but he's definitely a competitor. But in 15th place, Eric Jeffers, he's got an issue with his computer. He may not make tonight's event.
Interesting. Yep, that's definitely going to shake some things up if some of those competitors cannot make it. So, you got to think about this. For one person, the door shuts, but for another, a door opens. So could we see a first-time winner here tonight? Could we see somebody else step onto the podium that we typically don't see? So we're about to figure that out, though, when we go to qualifying. I don't know what the 42's doing.
Taking a tour, I think. We do show.
Go right ahead.
We do show that Eric Jeffers is registered, but not sure he's going to make it. But we shall see. So let's turn off the playoffs graphic, but let's talk about. Well, let's look at tonight's race info.
Absolutely. So we have 151 laps here with the stage break at lap 50. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour with 1 quick repair, 5 sets of tires, 60% fuel, and 3 green, white checker restarts. Very nice temperature of 77. Clear skies, 10 mile an hour winds, but the temperature of the track is 118 degrees, so a little bit hot here in New Hampshire, which is going to make this fun track a little bit slick tonight.
And this track is, this is probably, if it isn't the flattest track, it's got to be close, because this is just over 1 mile track that is so hard to get around.
Very hard. I mean, it's a lot of rhythm. The track in your car changes almost lap to lap, so your line has to be fairly consistent. This is a track that I enjoy a lot because it really takes a lot of rhythm and feel for the car to get it right. So right now, looking at the top of the board, who else? Jordan Booth right there. Oh, Jordan Winsel getting sideways, hitting the wall. That is can happen here often.
Yep.
But still, Booth up front. Doing a great job right now, running the fastest practice time. And, looking at specifically, where we stand in some of the point battles, 4 points separates the battle for third. And those valuable playoff points are on the line tonight. 8 points separate 9th through 11th. But the real look is at the cut line. 14 points separating the playoffs with Jacob Mousseau and out of the playoffs with Tony Japs. And to add to all of this drama, a win from 17th on back could really change the outlook, and that's what we were talking about before. So the summer is really heating up, and so are the point battles. One thing that has not had much change is the top 3 in team standings. 40X to Live, Full Throttle Motorsports 1-2, and then Roadrunner there in P3. And speaking about some of those members of those teams, Travis Bennett, Nick Alves, Jordan Wenzel, Simon Madgen, Jordan Booth, Corey Bunch, Tyler Lem, Martin Giroux, Alex Forget, Berube, Brendan Hayes all locked in to the playoffs. Rick, let's talk about it. Who's on fire right now?
Well, I tell you, Corey Bunch in the 77 has really vaulted up the leaderboard and into third in the standings with his win last week in Iowa. I don't think that's going to change tonight. The 77 has led 71 laps last year and finishes P2 here at New Hampshire. And his finishes don't tell the whole picture for the driver of the 24. That's Matt Pericini. He has run and qualified up front 4 weeks in a row. A few bits of unlucky timing and some incidents really kind of relegated his strong runs with some outside the top 10, top 15 finishes the last few weeks. But it's safe to say, he has certainly been making some progress. Also, the 94 of Michael Whitley, we were calling his name all last week as well. He's had 6 top 10 runs and 3 top 5 finishes in the past 7 races. The hot now sign on that Krispy Kreme seems to finally have put that 94 in the top 10.
Absolutely. And so, looking at that, we have to talk about the other side of this coin. It's who's not right now. And with 2 recent finishes outside of the top 15, Tyler Lem has slid down the top 10 in the standings. He does have that win, but with a win at one of our other flat tracks at Martinsville, this could be a race where he could lock himself in another win for the championship playoff run and making the list for the second week in the row. Well, a driver we already talked about, the 12 of Eric Jeffers. A strong start and showing last week was unfortunately taken away by a pitch strategy and a few no-fault accidents that happened to him there. So the 12 still looking to rebound this season and score win number 1. The 19 of Alex Forget, he's coming off a solid 8th place run at Iowa. Good to see that. However, the previous to that driver of the 19 had 3 consecutive finishes outside of the top 10. So even though he's locked in, this may be a win for him that he could lock in. But like we were talking about before, this could be a big race for a lot of different drivers for a lot of different reasons. And as that is being said, we are about to see qualifying for tonight's iNRS New Hampshire 160. Seeing who'd be able to put up the fastest time here at New Hampshire. And, some drivers that have excelled at this track before. We saw the 77 of Corey Bunch last year dominate the race before being taken over by the eventual race winner, Jeff Brogdon. But, tonight plays into the hands of that driver. Look for him to be at the top of the boards. And the 10 of Vernon Brodbeck. We had him in some of the pre-race talk that, Rick and I were talking about. And the 55 of Vince Byrne also managed top 5 runs here last year. So repeat performances by both will be crucial in staying into the playoffs that are inching ever so close for this iNRS series.
All right, we're currently watching the 30 of Alex Murphy make his way around this track. Alex was putting up some, top numbers in practice here. He's definitely taken a higher line than he was in practice, but we'll see what that translates to. Some good times being put up by Jordan Booth, 31.331. That's a big number. This is kind of one of those tracks with, you've got 151 laps here. It's okay to put up a lap time that maybe is, it doesn't have to be at the top of the leaderboard, but getting around safe, because this track is so flat. It's so easy to make a mistake and slide off.
Yeah, it's really easy. And, that's where passing here is very difficult because of the banking, because of this track. And, you don't want to get on the very bottom line. If you get on the very bottom line, Rick, you might be going around. So it's treacherous all around. Corner exit's going to be very important here tonight. So we'll see how this race plays out as we are now looking at some of the drivers. That's 77 to Corey Bunch. We were just talking about him, seeing what time he can put up on the board. See what he's able to do. Maybe get a win here.
Certainly has put up a good number. That is a 31,171. That moves him all the way up to the top of the bowl. Yep. I don't see anybody who's on track now that is running, looking around, see if there's anybody who has not finished up a lap. Looks like we've got possibly Michael Whitley. Who is not running his Krispy Kreme paint scheme tonight.
He is not. A different paint scheme for that car. Interesting. I like the donut car.
I did.
Made me hungry.
Hey, it looks like Eric Jeffers was able to make the race. He was definitely having graphics issues.
Wow, look at that.
He is on track. That is awesome. Good for Eric. But we're still missing Travis Bennett. Travis, unfortunately, was experiencing a lot of storms in his area, and he was having outages, unfortunately, with his carrier. Eric's first lap was a 32.8. He's got plenty of time to get this last lap in. Oh, but it's not going to count. He just tagged the wall. He'll have to just go with that first lap. So that's what happens here on iRacing. You not only have to have a qualifying lap, but you have to get it in cleanly. Now that's Austin Walton, who has not qualified. He is lined up, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get it in. Qualifying ends in just under 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to finish and get that run in. But hey, who knows? Maybe it's a part of the plan. We know some drivers don't like to qualify, which is an interesting strategy, but it happens. Yep. So, but it looks like qualifying has ended, and we are now going to our warm-up where the drivers are going to go into their drivers' meeting. So right now, Rick, let's while we have the time, let's go ahead, and I want to talk about the 3 keys for tonight's race. New Hampshire, it's a wild track. It's very flat, and you can't talk about New Hampshire without talking about a few of these things. First thing is going to be tire management. You have to manage your tires. You can easily slide, overheat your tires, and yeah, you have some decently long straightaways. Your tires don't really have a lot of time to cool down back to a normal temp. So making sure you manage your tires, especially off corner exit, is going to be crucial, especially if you slide the exit. Number 2 is track position. So at New Hampshire, you got to be up front. It's a track, especially if cautions start to fly. You don't want to be in the back. You just don't want to put yourself in that situation. So staying up in the front. It sounds like, oh, yeah, of course you want to stay up in the front of the race. Well, yes, you do. But this is not a track where typically if you get a lot of cautions, you're able to pass. So if we get green flag runs, that'll definitely change because I love the long run strategy of saving your tires here in New Hampshire. But either way, track position is going to be good. And ride the cautions. Rick, I want you to touch on this one just a little bit. Get you in on your take for this one. What does number 3 mean?
Well, certainly we've seen this in the past with short tracks and tracks where we know it's super easy to make a mistake. It's not easy to get around this track too wide without somebody making a mistake. So you have really got to get yourself out front and ride out those wave of cautions that we typically see, especially we've heard us say in the past, cautions breed cautions, because when you take this 25 or so car field, you stack them back up on a restart. It's super easy, especially since we're not going to be swapping tires every single time to get out there to make a mistake and wind up getting collected in someone else's era. So you've got to be able to put yourself in the right position strategically. You may choose to stay out during a caution period, get yourself some track position, like point number 2, but find a way to ride those cautions to get yourself and put yourself in a position to get you the win.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And those are the 3 keys for tonight's race here at New Hampshire. Got about 2 minutes and 19 seconds until we get the green flag and get our grid. Well, Rick, I want to talk about your thoughts. So I know we already mentioned before riding the cautions and whatnot, but where would you want to be in this race? Where would you like to start? Would you like to set the pace, be out front? Would you like to stay in the back, kind of mid-pack? What's your strategy?
Well, John, I think that you and I have kind of like the same vision here. You know, what we saw in practice was those guys who were able to get around here in the 31s and the low 31s consistently were those guys that we're going to see that will be up starting at the front. So that means you have got a plan. You figured out a way to get around this track. There's going to be some shifting. These guys will be in and out of third and fourth gear. You can't just ride around in fourth gear. You certainly can't ride around in third. You definitely can't ride around in fifth. So you've got to have a plan for getting in and out consistently, dealing with people around you. So I want to be closer to the front end. I want to ride those cautions. I want to look at take opportunities. I want to be strategic whether I go in or stay out. I know cautions are going to happen. It could be 5 cautions, 10 cautions, whatever it just that count happens to be. I want to leverage that and use that to my advantage.
Yeah, we are talking the same language. I completely agree with that, Rick. So, with that being said, we got about lovely 45 seconds until we get this race underway. And here at good old New Hampshire, beautiful facility, seeing all the lovely trees and that, and looking at the live, free, and race. That's a great motto. I love that.
Well, it's kind of a play on the license plate in North Carolina. So, I mean, in New Hampshire. And of course in the real North. In the real North, you say North Carolina, in the race that you will see on Sunday, one of the biggest draws, their little claim to fame is that they give out this massive lobster to the winner.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we can give out virtual ones.
Sure. We should have thought of that earlier. We could have done something with the graphics.
We could have done. Yeah, we could have. Man. If only.
Yeah,
well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Clocks in Martinsville and lobsters, or let me say that correctly, lobster in New Hampshire.
Lobster. Looks like everybody's done munching on their lobster, and we're about to get this grid and get this race underway. The grandstands are packed. Look at that magically. They all just poof right there.
I think they're ready to go.
They are all ready to go. Yeah, those drivers populated very quick. I mean, within 10 seconds. That is fairly awesome there. All right, Rick, let's go ahead and talk about who is on the pole and who's going to be next to that pole leader and our starting lineup for tonight's New Hampshire 160 presented by iNRS and Admin Box. You got Corey Bunch, talked about him before in that number 77 machine on pole with Brendan Hayes to his outside in second, Jordan Booth in third, Alex Murphy in fourth, Jacob Mousseau in fifth with Vernon Broadbeck in sixth, Michael Whitley Jr. in seventh, Matt Perusini in eighth, Jordan Winsel in ninth, and Martin Giroux in P10.
All right, Clark Franz is in 11th. Martin Pinnell is in 12th. In 13th, Tyler Lamb. In 14th, Alex Forjay Berube. In 15th, Tony Japs. And 16th is Richard Mills. In 17th position, it is Vince Burns. And to his outside in 18th, Matthew Robinson. Scott Thomas is in 19th, and Nick Alves is in 20th.
In 21st, you have Ty Bostic. 22nd, Dan Hughes. 23rd, Joe Mousseau. 24th, Ron Fitting. 25th and 26th occupied by Austin Walton and Mike Wheel, who did not make lap times during qualifying.
Oh, we may have missed a couple of names. Did you get Corey Ennis and Eric Jeffers there?
Oh, yeah. Corey Ennis, 25th. Eric Jeffers, 26th. There you go. Yep, sorry about that, Corey. Sorry, Eric. Austin at 27th and Mike at 28th. Yeah, just skipped right over him. Sorry, guys.
No worries. I think we're good. All right, field is kind of getting together. There's a little bit of tire warming and a little bit of scrubbing going on, getting ready for this start.
Yeah, you got to do something to get these tires warmed up here in this lovely New Hampshire 77-degree day. Track temp sitting at a nice 113 degrees. The field 2x2. As we are now seeing the pace car dip down, folks, we are about to get this race underway. Green flag in the air here in New Hampshire for the New Hampshire 160, presented by iNRS and Admin Box. You see Corey Bunch right there with the lead, but here's Brendan Hayes on the outside. And this is where this corner is going to get really interesting. The difference in lines, speeds, braking points.
Teammates side by side. 41 of Booth and the 40 of Hayes, door to door.
Yep, side by side, and that's not something you really want to do here. You're going to lose a lot of time. Corey Bunch leads the first lap.
And they shake out a little bit.
We got a lot going on mid-pack right where it looks like Martin Giroux on back. You got 3 wide going into turn 3. Tyler Lem in the middle. Alex Forget along the wall. Nowhere for him to go. The one on the inside. Now they are 2 wide in the middle of turn 3 and turn 4.
This is super easy to, you're trying to keep with your line and your way of getting around this track, but when now you add into that mix, you've got a competitor taking your spot. It's super easy to make it like, oh, someone.
In the grass. Michael Wheel.
I think that was
Nick Alves.
Nick Alves, yeah.
Car's loose out of turn 4. They were able to save it, though, all the way in the back, just cross the start-finish line. All good on that end. But, yeah, that's the one thing about this track, Rick. You can get loose. I think this is, one of the easiest places to do that. You can just... You want to get back to the throttle. It's natural for, as a driver to get back to the throttle as quickly as possible. But you almost have to just wait it out. You got to be patient. And it's patience in a different way. It's not even patience about, making your way through the field. It's patience with the throttle. Because these cars, the way they drive, too much throttle, you're going to go around no matter what.
Yeah, you kind of have to ease back into that as you're coming off that apex of the turn. Whereas some tracks, especially the 1.5 miles, you can kind of stab it and just go. Not so much here. Corey Bunch doing a great job staying out front, actually giving a little bit of a gap between himself and Jordan Booth. About 1.5 seconds, kind of stretching that out. And already this field of 28 drivers actually is beginning to elongate and have some separation amongst those groups. I think Michael Whitley may be having some connection issues. He keeps popping in and out. Yep, there he goes again. So, the weather plays havoc, or just the technology that we unfortunately are dealing with will affect that driver on track. See the 50 of Martin Giroux, you've got Jordan Wenzel up underneath. So John, in the pre-race and in practice, we saw drivers taking all different ways around the track. Oh, caution's out.
Oh, caution. Caution is out.
Looks like the 67 of Corey Ennis has spun.
Yeah, I'd say that's the line you don't want to take.
Yeah, whatever caused that. Well, you never know. That 17 of Austin Walton's a little close.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he got a little help.
Definitely a little bit of help.
So it's kind of what we were talking about before, in that your way around this track may not be your competitor's way around this track.
Yeah, we were talking about that pre-race, and it's different for everybody because everybody interprets how to drive this track just a slightly different way, whether it's how much brake you need to put into it on corner entry, the line is on that first groove, as we see. Oh, we got a fake out by some of the teammates. Is it going to be the second groove you tried to get in? Is it going to be the third groove? It's so different depending on the driver and even the conditions of the car and how you have it set up, even with brake bias. So if your brake bias is a little bit too much in the front versus the back, which means you have more front brake versus back brake, your car could be completely different from everybody else. So it really is one of those tracks where everybody approaches it differently. We were talking about different lines. If you get above that different color pavement there, you'll see it here once they get into turn 3. You see the two differences right there in the pavement. You really don't want to get above that second dotted line from the top. If you do, you might get a little loose. But Rick, it's all over the place. This track is a playground. It's almost like a sandbox. It's kind of what you make of it.
Well, another thing that these drivers are contending with is the surface of this track. It is definitely not the most even. There's a lot of little bumps and grooves that you've got to consider as you get around.
For sure. Yep, it's one of the bumpiest tracks on the circuit, just because of the fact of how flat it is, and it's the pavement and the way that it is actually paved. It's a very interesting track, and it produces really good racing. And you can see right there just how bumpy it is. You can even see some of the cars on the backstretch just going up and down. I wonder if they'll ever repave it, the whole thing.
Jeez. Certainly they could resurface it. May not have to repave it. They could grind it and try to fix some of that stuff. But I don't know. If they're going to repave it, I think that there's probably a few folks that would try to maybe add a few more degrees of banking in some of these corners.
Yeah, for sure. That would definitely be a want from some others. They're like, hey, don't touch it. Don't touch this track. I really like it. A couple of drivers like Martin Truex Jr. has been strong here. A lot of drivers within that era of who likes flat tracks. They've been strong here. So like, oh, don't repave it.
Well, we're about to go back. Our lights are off on top of our pace car, so Corey Bunch will be in charge. Corey has elected to take the outside line. He's got Jordan Booth to his inside.
And they're going to fire off fairly quick because that Geico restart zone is right when that wall starts on pit road. We're about to get the green flag right now. Green flag back in the air. Corey Bunch with a great restart on the outside. Oh, wow, that was a very close move by the 41, jumping in front of the 30. The 30 is like, hey, I'm going to go back out to the outside. I didn't like that very much. Kind of gets hung out just a little bit as we see some guys battling side by side throughout the pack. That is the 40 machine of Brendan Hayes trying to make his way around the 30 machine following his 40 XLI teammate of Jordan Booth.
There's a lot going on. Wreck in the back.
Tyler Lem, I think.
Yeah, so Matt Pericini involved as well. '24 is just getting restarted. See the 94 of Michael Whitley Jr. down below. I see the 25 of Musso. Looks like there's contact between the 94, the 25 and the 24. They're both spinning. The 50 of Giroux goes up high, almost collects the 81. 20's got slipped through, but the 19, just gets through. 22 gets caught, and the field just has to deal with the 24, who is pointing in the wrong direction.
Yep, not the line you want to be in. You want to be facing the other way. So tough break. I felt like we talked about the 24 a lot last week, and it's unfortunate there. It looks like he got caught up again, and we'll see how much damage he actually has on that 24 machine, see if he can get back out there without using one of those quick repairs.
All right, but as we talked about before, cautions tend to breed cautions here. You're stacked up, and again, your line. Your braking zone is different than your competitor's braking zone. So only our second caution of the night. 15 laps are in the books. Let's see if these guys can put it together. We had Bostic, Pericini, and Walton in the pits that time by. Looks like Mike Wheel made the race, but unfortunately he has retired.
Unfortunate there. Well, pace car still has the lights on. Interesting, nobody on pit road, so we're making another way around this track and looking at some of the pit stop trackers. You have Corey Ennis coming down pit road on lap 9 with a 14.42 second stop. I'm curious to see what his strategy is going forward, because with 2 cautions, could we go to the end of this stage without seeing anybody come down pit road to get fuel? That is a possibility. Now that is, that door is slowly opening. If we get another one, then that would really make it truly interesting to see who could actually make their way to the end of the stage. So all about strategy, all about, what do you think would happen? What's the gamble you're going to take? Get one to go from the flag man and see that 77.
All right. Almost that time to do the thing all over again. Of course, we just did the thing. You can see from that perspective just how wide this track is.
Oh yeah, it's fun to race off the corner. Definitely a driver's track and a lot of room. A lot of room for error, but yeah, a lot of room.
Well, they also race there's a lot of different styles of racing that this track hosts as well, so.
Yeah, a lot of different disciplines, formats, layouts, all the fun stuff. Pace cars down on pit road, and we are back to green flag racing. Oh, the 77 fooled the 41 there. No lane change. That is good, because that is obviously a penalty. But here we go. Field dives down into turn 1 once again.
I think we're still seeing Michael Whitley having some connection issues.
Oh, yeah. He just blinked right there, almost alongside the 10 of Vernon Broadbeck. Oh, car loose. 2 cars loose. That's Alex Forget-Berube on the inside. Oh, car very loose up into turn 1 and turn 2. Almost, got another car loose out of turn 2. That is the 41 of Jordan Booth. Man, it almost looked like there was, water on the track.
Well, too wide. This is kind of mid-pack here as these guys are working their way through this restart, kind of reestablish their positions here on this track. Lots of beating and banging here.
There is. You see somewhat of impatience. Michael Whitley completely disappeared again. We do not know where he is. He, I believe, is back now on the track. pretty dangerous for a car blinking.
Back in front, Corey Bunch has found himself all alone, clean air, all by himself.
1.3 second gap.
Yep, definitely out in front.
Oh, caution is out. Caution is out. Martin Pinnell.
Ron Fitting also possibly involved. Ron Fitting, Dan Hughes also potentially involved. We'll go back and see what we can see.
Looks like it might have started a little bit further up. Maybe not.
Right there you can see somebody dirt tracking through. I think that's the...
Oh, car loose on the inside.
That's the 6.
Oh.
That's Dan Hughes. Unfortunately, that ends up collecting a lot of drivers. 39.
That Tyler Lim again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tyler got victim of circumstance. Yeah.
Well, third caution of the night.
Yep, that's Ron Fitting's 3. On pit road, Corey Innes, Joe Musso, Tyler Lem on pit road.
You know, all of these incidents have been in result of, you know, the first two were a little bit of a bump, but it's loose. I mean, this track is very, very. I mean, I would put it in the difficult tracks to drive for sure.
No doubt. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We've got a lot of side-by-side commercials that we'll put in front of you, but we may also take a few that will just take up. And right now we're going to run a regular commercial. We'll be right back.
ACE HDI provides commercial smart security systems, audio-visual solutions, TV mounting and installation, access control, and surveillance systems. In addition, our networking division can provide business networking and Wi-Fi solutions. All these systems can be remotely managed through our ACE HTI applications and cloud-based solutions. Running a business these days is a tough and demanding job. Let the folks at ACE HTI ensure that your place of business is safe for your workers and your company assets. ACE HTI can offer you integrated burglar alarm systems, access control and health, and wellness systems to ensure the safety of your employees and visitors. If you are looking to modernize or purchase a new fire alarm system, look no further than ACE HTI. We can offer you the latest state-of-the-art solutions to keep watch over your business. Does your surveillance system need a refresh? ACE HTI can install the latest 4K surveillance cameras with custom analytics and AI to help you understand what's happening in and around your business. Are you a restaurant or hospitality venue? Does your facility host sporting events? Reach out to ACE HTI for the latest in video displays and audio systems to enhance and define your place of business. ACE HTI service area includes both North and South Carolina. Reach out to us today at 336-941-3171 or via email at info@ace-hti.com.
All right, welcome back to the iNRS New Hampshire 160 here in Loudon, New Hampshire. We are under caution, our third caution of the night. We thank you for tuning in, and we're about to get back underway.
If you notice, Rick, the track got cloudy all of a sudden.
We did. That should, we can see if that's affected our temperature. 1 second, we can bring up some weather information.
Dropped about 7 degrees.
Oh yeah, 108 degrees on track. All right.
I'll pay attention to that because that is definitely going to play a factor in what grip level these guys will have.
Yep, and as
on this surface,
as we've seen so far, grip level matters.
Oh, it does. And green flag back in here at New Hampshire. Got the 41 all over the back door of that 30. That's where you got to be careful as the field dives into turn 1 at 103 miles an hour. There's a 10 of Vernon Broadbeck. You got the 81 of Jordan Wenzel there, trying to get back into the action here. He is currently in the 5th position. But here comes the 40 of Brendan Hayes to his inside.
Again, different lines as we're working our way through those corners. You know, these guys, we've got a stage break coming up at lap 50, so that we're almost halfway, or over halfway to that stage break. But again, these guys are all on tires that they started with, so nobody has an advantage really. However, I will tell you that Eric Jeffers, who started 26th tonight, is now up to 10th.
Wow. Yeah, plus 16. My goodness. He might pick another one off right here. Matthew Robinson put himself in P9.
Yep, he's those drivers are taking that higher line. He is definitely trying to work his way around this track.
Thought I saw some contact between the 5 and the 15 right there. That is Richard Mills and Clark Franz. But with that being said, we've got 20 laps to go until the end of the first stage. There's your leader, 77 of Corey Bunch out front here in second place of Rumble Racing, the 30 of Alex Murphy. Jordan Booth right behind him in third in that 4140 XLI machine. Looking to get a good run here at New Hampshire. And P4, you got Brendan Hayes, all right behind him there in that other 40 XLI car. Vernon Broadbeck into the top 10. What a run for him for Road Runner Motorsports, sitting third in the point standings. He's doing a great job here with, I believe that is a Mike's Hard Lemonade Harder. I don't know, I might be wrong. Yeah, Mike's Harder.
Interesting.
There we go. Right behind him, you got the Jordan Wenzel machine of Apex Motorsports, always a contender there in that 81. Right behind him, just a little bit further on back, you have Martin Pinnell enjoying a nice day with his teammate of Martin Giroux. The two Martins right there, P7 and P8. And then you have Matthew Robinson in the 1 car with Eric Jeffers all over his back doorstep. That's your top 10, but Eric Jeffers has been on the move here in this first part of this race out of Dexter, New York. He's trying to go to the inside of Matthew Robinson right now, and he's there. He might be able to get him out of corner exit. Not quite. That 1 is going to have a run, but I think that 12, Rick, is looking very, very strong today.
Yeah, he's got lots of time to work his way up and pick through this field, and he is now in the 9th position, up 17 slots from his qualifying effort.
And a driver who's doing a great job as well has been, as well, Matthew Robinson, the 1. He's made up 8 positions since the start. Corey Ennis up 6, Richard Mills up 5. But right now, Corey Bunch almost to a 3-second lead, 2.67 seconds right now. We might have a caution on the track. Yeah, I saw my leaderboard completely change, and when I saw a lot of movement, I imagined there was a wreck. So looks like we got some drivers involved in this one for sure. Dan Hughes,
Clark Franz, Matt Robinson also involved.
Yes, some of those guys we were just talking about.
Well, let's try to figure out just what happened when that yellow flag came out, what caused that.
So the 1 was up against the wall. Here comes the 5. The 5 comes in, looks like a little hot. tags the 1.
Unfortunately, that causes him to, Clark had nowhere to go, so he was trapped as that 1 came up to the safer barrier. Not a lot of damage, probably just time to change some tires on that 15, but he got away pretty good. Even so much so on the 1, not much damage, but certainly lots of position loss for these guys.
Unfortunate.
So you see the 1 on pit road as well as the 17. That 17 is Austin Walton. Also, Clark Franz is also on pit road. And I'm sure these guys will take the opportunity, come down, just see what the damage issue is with their cars, and get some fresh tires. All right. Pacing is like, I think it's 45 around this track, so they definitely have an opportunity to get a little bit of damage repair done and get that tire change, which we saw. Those guys they're basically just holding there, waiting to get as much damage repaired as possible, which within iRacing you can do that. Come in the pits, and if you hang out there, your crew will try to repair as much damage as you can under that caution period, but you obviously have control over when you go out, and you can incrementally come in and get that damage repaired as these cautions occur.
You absolutely can, and that's what some drivers decide to do. With that stage, they know they have to pit another time. I mean, it's makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to do that. So,
especially if you're going to come out at the tail end of the pack, anyways, might as well get as much damage repaired as you can. All right, 37 laps in the books here at New Hampshire. Just 13 laps to go before we have our stage break. My guess is we'll go back to green around lap 39. So just a few laps to go to get those coveted stage points. We appreciate
stage points do matter a lot. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say we appreciate those of you who have tuned in tonight to the IWM Broadcast Network here with the iNRS series. We ask if you're watching it live or you're doing this on replay later, please like and follow along so we can keep you up to date as to what's happening here in the IWM Broadcast Network and add you into our broadcast family. All right, John, you were saying?
Yeah, so, stage points matter a lot, especially when you only have one of them and then you have the end of the race. So you may see these drivers try to pull off something special here. You might see the moves get a little bit bigger, driving a little bit deeper, and tempers flare a little bit more as the track temp continues to fall. We're down to 106 on my handy-dandy virtual thermometer over here, and what I also know from that is that the action's heating up on the track. You see green flag back in the air, and I think that was a 40XLI driver who got really loose on the restart there. 3 wide potentially there in the middle of the pack as we make this way down into out of turn 2 onto the backstretch, and Alex Murphy is now just 2 tenths behind the leader of Corey Bunch, with coming to 10 to go at the line until the stage break.
Corey Bunch has consistently found a great way to get out there and get in front.
Yeah, his times are fantastic. He has the fastest time on the board. He's actually the only driver to get into the 31 flats. Nobody else has been faster. Nobody else can actually even get into a 31-1. So he is definitely got this place figured out. It's going to be a battle for second forming between Alex Murphy and Jordan Booth side by side as they make their way into turn 1. You see Jordan Wenzel really high in the turn 1 and turn 2, trying to get a run off the corner to secure 4th place. I believe he will. And the 41 will secure 2nd place. So Jordan up to P2, that is Booth. And the other Jordan Wenzel, up to P4.
All right, these top 4 or 5 drivers continue to put up some fantastic times here at New Hampshire as we begin to count down to lap 50.
Moving our way through this, the 41's been doing fairly well. He's been able to slowly make his way past that 30. We'll see what the lap times are this time by. A 31.299 for Corey Bunchen, a 31.204 for Jordan Booth. So here comes Jordan Booth to the party.
Yep, definitely, certainly creeping up on the 77's bumper. I do show that the 24 of Matt Persini, who is a lap down car, is eventually will find himself with the leader in his rearview mirror. We can ride on board with Jordan Booth and see how just he's getting around this track.
Let's do it. See, a lot of guys are, and if you are approaching this track correctly, you will dip down into 3rd gear as you see that 41 car do right now, and then you power off and you're going to go into 4th gear right about now. There it is.
Yeah, he definitely downshifted just after getting into that first turn, which helps that car to utilize that engine to kind of help with the braking and stick better on the track. That was something, John, you and I were talking about early on as we were analyzing these drivers getting around the track.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely, driver to driver, depending on when and where you shift, when and where you enter the corner, how much brake you use. I particularly like this 3rd line. I'm a fan of it. I think you can get a little bit of a better drive off the corner in a more linear path versus the low line where you're sliding, and sliding means you are burning up the tires, and so that's not a good sign.
You can watch that little orange stripe on his steering wheel. You can see the driver is forced to utilize that looseness of the car. He's counter steering to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Oh, looks like a little bit of a bobble by the 77. That allowed the 41 of Booth to really gain a lot on him.
Yep, with 2 to go in the stage, this could be for another point. I mean, 1 point, we've seen it in the actual Cup Series and in the iNRS Series, even in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. 1 point can be the difference between being a champion and not. So this is a big moment now approaching this time by, and next time by is going to be the end of the stage. We'll see what the 41 has for the 77. That 77 still is so strong. Even with that mess up, he ran a 10th faster last lap.
Wow.
So he has a short memory, I've adopted the mentality of having the attention, or not the attention span, the memory of a goldfish. The memory of a goldfish. I learned that from Ted Lasso.
There you go.
Gotta say, it's effective, not only in racing, but in life.
That's correct.
So. No lobster references. I wish we had some.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rick, you have any lobster references up your sleeve?
I do not. No, I do not.
Well, this is one way to get your first chance at a lobster. You have the end of the stage happening now. There it is. Corey Bunch in the lead. Doing all the right things so far here early on in the iNRS New Hampshire 160, presented by the iNRS Series and Admin Box, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are approaching 2,000 subscribers, so we want to make sure we keep on growing this iRacing community and the fans that we have, so we can bring you more action just like this. So to do that, we would love your support, so you don't miss a thing. We have races Wednesdays and Thursdays. We have 2 races left, actually, in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. 1 more race, and then we have the finale here in just about 2 weeks, so make sure for that. But this iNRS Series is going to run the whole Cup schedule, so we got a long ways to go.
We do. So there's your leaders right now, and that's your stage points winners. Corey Bunch takes the win. Jordan Booth, Alex Murphy, Jordan Wenzel, Vernon Broadbeck, Jacob Musso, Brandon Hayes, Martin Giroux, Alex Berube, and Eric Jeffers. Those are your points winners here at stage. And now you'll see your leaders, and everybody else will be on pit road. Now, Dan Hughes in the 6 did not come down pit road. He did pit on lap 22, and this will give him an opportunity to get a lead a lap.
Interesting. And paddles off pit road. Wow.
Well, that's 67.
Corey Ennis.
Yeah. Now, I could be. I'm not sure why. Maybe he only took right side tires.
I mean, his pit time says 16.85, and Corey Bunch says 14.62.
I don't get it. It does not make sense.
Well, I like to say the math is not mathing. And I do love my math. And Corey Ennis back down pit road.
Yeah, something happened.
Got no black flags or anything. I don't know. I'm just lost.
It's getting tires now.
I don't know.
You know, it's possibly what happened is he that time may have been from a previous stop. Maybe he just came down and just drove through. Maybe he missed his pit. Had to come back down. That's what I'm going to go with. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Hey, there you go. I'll take that. I'll second that with you, because I really don't know. But what I do know is that 77 in that Benjamin Moore Ford Dark Horse Mustang is looking very strong tonight. We mentioned him in the pre-race. You know, it's one of the drivers to look out for. So I think he has a really great chance. I mean, he checked out from the field almost to a 3-second lead. He was able to recover and then gap his competitor of Jordan Booth there. He has all the right ingredients for a race-winning car and a race-winning performance.
Absolutely.
But here we are. We got just under 100 laps to go here at New Hampshire. We appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's race. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing that us here at the IWM Broadcast Network bring to you every Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, pace car is going to drop off and put this back into Corey's hands on this restart.
Yeah, that 41's been pretty decent. He gets a jump and then he kind of backs off. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. At New Hampshire, Corey Bunch off to a lovely, lovely start as you see the 10 of Vernon Broadbeck. What a race for him. Talked about him in the pre-race as well. Could we see him making a splash? He is right now in the podium position of third.
Now
we'll
we've got
what he is able to do.
Got lots of fresh tires out there. That means they're cold tires, so these competitors need to let that heat build up. Always a risk here on your first lap or two.
Yeah, I think lap 2 is a little bit more dangerous than lap 1. Ty Bostic dropping like a fly. I don't know what happened to Ty. Well, that rhymed, and I didn't mean for it to. Sorry, Ty.
In the back end, up high, is Ty.
Well, you know, we are now entering our poetry slam for tonight's race. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, gosh, we're terrible at it.
I had to do it. Oh, we got the 41 loose on the front stretch. He's able to navigate as a 10 tries to make their way there.
You know, the 77 always just finds a way. He just extends that gap between himself and others and just separates it, while the rest seem to be just mired in the back.
Yeah, I mean, clean air means a lot. Oh, caution is back out on the track, though. So clean air, you know, he's going to have it for a second. That's Matt Pirosini there. And he's tagged up against the entrance of the backstretch wall. Go back and see what happened to him. Oh, he looped it himself?
It looks that way.
I wonder if he overcorrected and he's going to slam the wall. Oh, there's the one of Matthew Robinson. Oh, there's a 24. Everybody got by cleanly?
That was lucky. All worked out. All right, lap 59, and we're back under our caution. This is our 6th caution of the night. There's that dreaded trend.
Oh, man. I was trying not to say it.
It
It is here.
It is definitely here.
It is here. If you don't know what we're referring to, well, it's probably your first time then here at the IWM Broadcast Network. But we have a trend at some particular tracks where cautions come out every 10 laps. Now, don't fear. That trend does go away sometimes. I do have to be realistic, though. Sometimes it does not, but sometimes it does. So we are hopeful here tonight. And, you know, these drivers, you know, of all tracks, you know, I don't treat this as another typical short track because of the fact how difficult it is to drive. I mean, it really is a tough track to navigate. You know, where Richmond or like a Martinsville, I'd say those are easier tracks than New Hampshire. By just a little bit. So, you know, with that being said, I think this is, you know, cold tires can do it. You know, it's going to be the practice time, how much people put in the practice. And, you know, it's not a very flashy, fun track to drive. I mean, like, as in it's not a high banked. It's not, you know, you have high speed going into 3 and 1, but, you know, it's pretty, you know, like I mentioned before, you got to be pretty patient to get back into the throttle. And some drivers just don't like that. So,
all right, under caution here, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back.
You'll love the exceptional service you get at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint, and our selection will truly wow you. Transform your home with hardwoods and laminates in every color, finish, and style you can imagine. When it comes to carpet selection, no one comes close to the variety we offer. And don't forget the walls. Liven them up with quality Benjamin Moore and Pittsburgh paint.
Professional staff and great selection at Lindsay's Carpet and Paint.
that might be a little long.
All right. Lap 61 in the books. Now under 100 laps to finish tonight's race. Right now, Corey Bunch is the man in charge. He has dominated so far tonight, and he will continue to be the control car Lights are off on our pace car as we will go green next time by. So, you know, if you're Jordan Booth here and there's not a lot you can do. You can't just automatically figure out just when that driver is going to go, and you certainly don't want to jump them.
Exactly, and that's the tough break. You know, if you jump them, then you get caught. It's always going to be, you know, rough to try to get that back. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what these restarts are going to do and how this is going to work out.
Let's go on board with Jordan Booth on this restart. Oh, he's down to 1.
That's gutsy. All right, green flag back in the air.
That was interesting to watch that. Look at that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy to watch that live. I mean, I'm just going to let them do their thing, and here comes the 41. Let's see what happens here. 77 drove her way deep. You know, sometimes you get watching and you turn into a spectator again. You just sit here and just like, okay, well, I'm watching the race. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I have a mic on.
So that was a pretty good attempt. You saw Jordan Booth trying to do what he could to mitigate that control that the 77 had, and did a pretty good job. I tell you, shifting these cars down to first on a restart at around 50 miles an hour, you've just got a few tenths on that tack to get out of that first gear and not blow a shift.
Well, Rick, I just want to tell you something really quick. The leaders both just ran 30.8s. Fastest time on the track, faster than qualifying. I mean, these guys are on rails right now, and Corey Bunch owns the fastest lap at a 30.861, followed by Jordan Booth, a 30.897. Let's see what their next lap by is. You have a 30.859. Corey Bunch topped that one again, so he's feeling the heat right now with that 41 behind. 41 slides a little bit, going to not get a great exit. That's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, once
and that 77's fast.
Yeah. You know, of course, now we're 12 laps or so on these tires, even though we did have some caution laps. But you know, you're never going to be as fast as those first laps or two with fresh tires. Well, the 41 continues to try and hunt down the 77, but there's plenty of battles going on back. We can go back and look. Here you've got that side-by-side action between the 40 of Brendan Hayes and the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. Wenzel is
sideways.
He saved it, though.
Wow. I mean, he saved it. Well, you know what they say. 8 tires are better than 4.
Yep. The 25 of Jacob Musso to the inside. The 81 now stays high. You know, part of that challenge is that when that happens, when you slid up like that, you're introducing heat into those tires, and that is going to make you just push a whole lot more. But we are back under caution for an incident with the 17 of Austin Walton. Now that's Corey Ennis behind him. Try to see what has happened here again. He seems to be just a little bit off the pace possibly, and that's never a good sign coming into a corner. 67 looks like he backs out of the throttle. But there's contact between these two drivers. So the 67 saves it. Unfortunately, the 17 not so much. He tows to the pits. All right, lap 70. We are approaching, by the time we go back to green, we will be at the halfway point here in New Hampshire. So that's if you're watching intently, that's not an optical illusion. Here on iRacing, it is possible. There's no penalty for a driver kind of going right through the pace car. It's just there as a placeholder. It won't affect you in any way. So if you see that happen, it's just part of the simulation.
Part of the fun. You know, I would be funny if like one day they're just, one day they just make it an actual car and you just get a 4X no matter how much contact you get, or you get like a drive-through and everybody's just going to be so upset with iRacing because it ruins the fun. But hey, they do pride themselves as a simulation, and as much as anybody wants to be like Kyle Busch and get in the back of the pace car, in real life you can't do it. So
all right. Excuse me. Corey Bunch continues to lead here in New Hampshire. Has he led every lap? I have to go back and look. He was
just about
our pole sitter.
Just about.
Yeah. We will see next time by if maybe we can pull one of these drivers under a caution and see if we can raise them on their radio.
Let's do it.
But not now. With the lights off on the pace car, we'll let that driver collect his thoughts. And let's go back on board with Jordan Booth on this restart.
Yeah, I am very eager to see what happens with Mr. Booth because it's going to be wild. That's all I got to say.
He is definitely clutching it right now. Actually, he's turning off the car. And the reason why he's doing that is to save fuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's at a track like this, you can easily do it. So we'll see what happens here. Alrighty. Pace car dips down again, our 7th caution of the night, and green flag back in the air. Here we go. Not a great restart there for the 41. Vernon Broadbeck now looks to take that position away from the 41. Not going to be able to do it, though. The 41 slides back into 2nd place as we see the field side by side throughout turn 1, turn 2, now to the backstretch going down into the turn 1. Oh, nope, turn 3. Turn 3. It's a very symmetrical track.
It is. It is. Good attempt by the 41 trying to get a jump like he did the previous restart, but did not quite work out. Corey Bunch continues to show us the way around this track. Jordan Booth, solid 2nd. Vernon Broadbeck.
Oh, caution, though.
Ty Bostic. I think Ty Bostic may have been involved.
8th caution, lap 75. Rick, that darn trend just keeps on finding its way back.
It does. Let's see if he had help or...
Self-spin.
Yep. Looks that way. So that's the 22 of Ty Bostic, who spun. Didn't do a lot of damage. If anything, probably more hurt feelings than a hurt car. Super easy to do. That will give the 41 of Jordan Booth another bite at this restart apple. We'll see how that works out for him. And we're going to take a commercial break, but we'll go side by side. You won't miss any of this pacing that they're doing. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
ACE HDI provides commercial smart security systems, audiovisual solutions, TV mounting and installation, access control, and surveillance systems. In addition, our networking division can provide business networking and Wi-Fi solutions. All these systems can be remotely managed through our ACE HTI applications and cloud-based solutions. Running a business these days is a tough and demanding job. Let the folks at ACE HTI ensure that your place of business is safe for your workers and your company assets. ACE HTI can offer you integrated burglar alarm systems, access control and health, and wellness systems to ensure the safety of your employees and visitors. If you are looking to modernize or purchase a new fire alarm system, look no further than ACE HTI. We can offer you the latest state-of-the-art solutions to keep watch over your business. Does your surveillance system need a refresh? ACE HTI can install the latest 4K surveillance cameras with custom analytics and AI to help you understand what's happening in and around your business. Are you a restaurant or hospitality venue? Does your facility host sporting events? Reach out to ACE HTI for the latest in video displays and audio systems to enhance and define your place of business. ACE HTI service area includes both North and South Carolina. Reach out to us today at 336-941-3171 or via email at info@ace-hti.com.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS New Hampshire 160. We are at lap 78 under caution for a spin by the 22 of Ty Bostic. No real damage, but that does put the 22 at the tail end of the field. We've got 28 competitors, 26 are still running, and all but 2 are on the lead lap. Next time by, we should get the 1 to go, and we'll see how these competitors line back up. These guys, Booth and Bunch, have pretty much been door to door really for the last 5 or 6 cautions. Jordan Booth's doing everything he can, every trick in his bag, try and find a way to mitigate the advantage that the 77 has on these restarts.
We'll see what he's able to do. Love this angle right here. This is going to give you a great shot at not only the Coney Setup Shop sponsor and the Benjamin Moore and the Lindsay's Carpet and Paint, but also this takeoff. So you're going to see the reaction times of this restart. Here we go. Pace car's off. Right there. Corey Bunch gets it done again. Great restart for him as we go back to Green Flag Racing from New Hampshire.
If only NASCAR had that same drone look from that position. Door to door with the 10 and the 30 of Burton Broadback and Alex Murphy there. That's a battle for position for third. Still tight between Booth and Bunch.
Yeah, that fight's there.
Welcome to Arby's. Would you like to try an ice cold Coke today?
Drives him just a little bit up the track. See if he's able to have a run out of the corner. Here comes the throw. Oh, I thought that was going to be contact.
Can I get a number 10 with a Coke?
I don't know how that signals cross, but someone's at the drive-thru ordering some food.
Absolutely.
All right, lap 82 in the books, and there's still a tight battle between your leader, Corey Bunch, and Jordan Booth as they break away from the pack. Vernon Broadback has now moved up to third solidly. He is +3 positions. Great showing by Vernon here.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pre-race. I mean, it's a track that he really likes. So
Caution
we got
down.
Tony Japs off track. Tony Japs, I believe, involved. And boom, right there.
Little bit of contact with the 20. And here comes the 13 of Alves, the 15 of Franz, and the 1. There's contact with the 15. Giroux gets safely through, 28 to the outside, but a couple drivers may have gotten a little bit of that contact with the 42.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And Rick, you know, that darn trend made its way back up here again.
It did.
I mean, it's been on the spot. The last 2 times was coming to lap 85. So, or 75 previously, now 85. Well, either way, we hope you are enjoying this. And make sure to tune in next Wednesday for the Tech for Troops Race 6 of 7 of their championship playoff series. They're going to be in Charlotte for the final race of 10. Yep, I know it's the last race of 10. You're like, what in the world is the race of 10? Well, they went from 16 drivers in round 1 down to 10 drivers in round 2. And after that, they're going to be a final 4 at Homestead. So tune into that next weekend. Rick will be, actually, next Thursday, I might be at the Fairgrounds Speedway here in Nashville. So Ross Chastain is going to be racing on the short track at the Fairgrounds. Might try to get some infield passes for that. So
there you go.
Might not be here, but the iNRS series will be in town. They'll be in town that evening. Have you ever made your way to the Nashville Fairgrounds, Rick?
I have not. It's on my list of tracks to visit.
Well, whenever you can, maybe for the All-American 400, I'll be there. I'll be with my good friend Chad, and come down. Don't know if you want to be in the infield, but we'll probably be in the infield for that one, on pit road or wherever they decide to keep us. And wherever we decide to stand. We stood in turn 1 and turn 2 up against the infield fence about a month ago when they ran a 125 lap event there. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a great time. Loved it. The cars sound awesome. So gotta go. If you haven't been, I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Even anybody listening. So.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. We're about to go back to Green Flag Racing. Corey Bunch is in charge. Again, he continues to elect to take that outside line, the 41 of Jordan Booth, to the inside, and he is just whipped out his whole bag of tricks trying to figure out a way to keep up with this 77, but more importantly, to get by him. Has not happened on the restart. It's super hard to do on these short tracks. The control car, the leader, has so much of an advantage.
Yep, the advantage is all to the leader. We'll see what the 41's able to do this time. Pace car's off, and we are green flag racing back at New Hampshire. 41 slides and gets a little loose there.
Possibly spun his tires a bit on that restart. He's been starting in first gear. Super easy just to chirp those tires.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen quite often.
30 of Alex Murphy works his way up and around and is battling with the 10 of Verdon Broadback. That's been a great battle these last restarts. The 10 makes his way by.
Yeah, he does.
And we are a single file up at the front, but looking further back in the field, definitely some battles going on. You see the side-by-side with Alex Fauché-Barubi. He's there at see Eric Jeff. Oh,
car hard
that's
to the
a
wall.
55 of Vince Burns. But they survive, sometimes 3 wide as they work their way around the 55.
That was a very tough hit. I mean, he just went full send into the wall.
A lot of action continuing here at the back of the field. We're still 2 by 2 as drivers begin to try and advance their positions. 55 slipping back, which you would expect when you lock them up like that. You tend to flat spot those tires and put a lot of heat in them, which does nothing to help you.
All right, well, we are just under 60 laps to go here at New Hampshire. And Ricks, gotta say, I'm not trying to jinx anything, I promise, but the trend is pointing here in about a lap and a half to 2 laps. We might have a caution. Let's see if we break the trend.
We're hoping. You know, part of that. Oh, there's contact right there. The 94 goes around. That was not his doing. He was actually got tapped.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
I'm not saying it. It's just it's so interesting because we see this at the same point at every point in the run. Could it be tires? Could it be tire temps? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's happening almost at the same time, about 8 to 9 laps after the run gets started. You know, well, not 8. I guess not 8 to 9. Probably about 4 to 5.
Well, here we saw the 55, who we just saw in the previous lap, locking it up. And now here he is coming through the corner. He does not have the same grip. And as he turns down, he winds up, unfortunately, colliding with the 94 of Michael Whitley Jr. and takes him out and around. Luckily, I don't think there's any other contact with the 94. Everybody gets by safely.
Oh, but we got leaders on pit road. Everybody making their way downtown. Well, on pit road.
Mostly. Scott Thomas stayed out. He went in on lap 76, as well as Jordan Wenzel, Matt Pericini. Those drivers stayed out. Ty Bostic as well, Tony Japs, Nick Alves, Clark Franz. Those guys all stayed out.
Interesting move for sure.
Jordan Booth did his best to try and get past, but this is very interesting because now you're going to have at the front 7 drivers who are on older tires, who frankly have really not been up at the front all night, with the leaders, Corey Bunch, Jordan Booth, Vernon Broadbeck, Alex Murphy. Those 4 drivers now are back in positions 8, 9, 10, 11. Count Brandon Hayes there as well, 12. Jacob Musso, 13th. Those guys are all battling for position all this time. So now they're going to be trying to work their way back up through the field. Could be interesting.
Could be.
All right, this puts Scott Thomas in the 79 as the control car. And he'll be in charge of getting us restarted. He will have the 81 of Jordan Wenzel up at the front as well. And Matt Pericini, who we've watched, was involved in a number of early incidents. Now he's on the lead lap, and he's going to restart in third.
He is. We'll see what he's able to do.
The magic of iRacing.
Hey, it is. Those little iRacing elves doing all the magic.
I mean, they're gnomes. I don't know, gnomes, fairies.
I thought they were elves, but I like gnomes. I like gnomes a lot.
Gnomes.
I actually have a gnome on my mantle in the living room.
There you go.
The more you know.
More you know.
About my man. Yeah. It's not just any gnome. We actually named him Joey. So.
Joey the gnome.
Joey the gnome.
All right, this is lap 97, so 98. We'll go back with just around 50 laps before the end of this race. I mean, realistically, that could be the last stop you need.
For sure. With the way the cautions have been falling, absolutely. I mean, pit road strategy here is crucial, and going 57 laps is not unrealistic if we have multiple cautions. So I think it's a good move. I think these drivers up front, they're hoping for a lot right now. I mean, the average position gain from the top 6 is in double digits. So these guys all up here are hoping that their strategy works out. So this is the point in the race, Rick, where when you have guys at the front that haven't been at the front this particular race, it creates absolute chaos. And then you have the tire differences there, which not a lot, but still there's a tire difference, especially between the 94 pit lap time and also the 76. So those two different strategies, the tires will have worn just a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but we're going to cover it all as we see the 81 and the 79 up there. Got Ty Bostic and Matt Perusini. All right, here we go. Pace car has dropped off, and green flag back in the air. 24 did not get a good restart, but who did? That's going to be the Scott Thomas machine.
Corey Bunch is right there to his inside. He works his way, his nose out in front of the 79.
He does, and new leader, 81, Jordan Wenzel. We'll see what. Oh, we're wrecking in the back, maybe, question mark, maybe not, kind of.
Sort of.
Nope. I think we're good.
Oh,
nope,
no, we're wrecking.
Yeah, we're wrecking.
Wrecking hard. That's the 28 of Joe Musso. Goes around and does a couple pirouettes through the front stretch. Joe Musso, Vince Burns also involved. There's a lot going on in front. They're 3 wide coming out of turn 4. There's contact.
Matt Robinson.
Yeah, Matt Robinson tags the 50 of Giroux. 28's got no place to go. He's kind of at the mercy. The 94 of Michael Whitley tries to get through. He tags the 28, sends him around. Parts fly. Vince Burns gets tagged by the 5 of Richard Mills. All right, here we go. You know, I see that 5 car who's got that Hooters paint scheme, and all I can think of is Alan Kowicki.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a Alan Kowicki throwback.
Well, if you're listening and you're a fan of podcasts, you can listen to the Dale Jr. download. He just interviewed Paul Andrews, who was Alan Kowicki's crew chief and really has a storied history in this sport.
Very nice. Absolutely. Definitely should go check that out for sure.
All right, that puts Jordan Wenzel to the point here. Scott Thomas in second. Matt Piracini, Nick Alves, Corey Bunch now back up to 5. He certainly made up a lot of positions rather quickly with that a lap and a half. That's the 17 of Austin Walton getting a lap back. That may put him on the lead lap or close to it. In fact, I think everybody we've had 2 retirees, Dan Hughes and Mike Wheel, are out, but that does put everybody on the lead lap.
Yes, it does. Rick, with just under 50 laps to go, this track has gotten cold. Track temp 89 degrees. 89.
That is incredible.
Yep, 89. It says 89.6 on my telemetry over here. I mean, this track, it looks like it's about to thunderstorm. But over there, there's some sun, which is good. I hope they don't have dynamic weather on, because if they do, I don't think they have the wet weather package here. So, has that been implemented on iRacing yet?
I don't.
These stock cars?
The dynamic weather, yes, but I don't believe precipitation has.
Yeah, that'll be a blessing and a curse once that happens.
Yep. Yep. So what we're talking about is that within the iRacing software, there is the ability for rain, and there are cars, especially the all-weather, the GT series and others that race every day. They've got rain tires. Rain does not stop those events. Cars like the NASCAR series, Xfinity trucks, etc., they're on slick tires. There are rain tires, but they're really not set up to run in rain conditions. At least not in iRacing.
And, I don't like talking about the rain word, but this weekend at New Hampshire, Rick, it might be a washout. Hate to say it, but there is a lot of weather. A lot of weather. And what I know, we're going to have a lot of speed right now as green flag is back in the air at New Hampshire.
Not a good restart by that front, that low groove. They were backed up big time. That gives...
The 15 got punted. The 15 got punted in the back. Sorry, Rick. 15 got a little bit moved there. Didn't know if there was going to be a caution.
There's lots of slicing and dicing going on. We're watching the 41 there. You see the 42. That 42 is Tony Japs.
24 loose. We got action all over this track tonight.
3 wide. 20 up high. That's the 30 of Alex Murphy getting up under the 15. He has seen the 10 of Vernon Broadbeck in his side window all night.
He has.
Corey Bunch now passing the 79 of Scott Thomas and has set his sights on the 81 of George Wenzel, try and get that lead back.
Oh, we're wrecking in the back. That's Alex Forget Berube against the wall.
Clark Franz
Car on the
in
inside.
we are still green. Still green here. The 15 continues to make it back on track, and we did not go yellow.
He did a little jump there in the infield.
Battle for the lead now.
Oh, here comes the 77. Rick, he just ran a 30.6. Oh, we had some major contact between Matt Parasini. Matt Parasini's coming back up the track. He's in the grass. We had a little bit of a moment there. I watched it on my side. Don't know if we want to replay that one. A little bit of a moment. Don't know what driver he got into it with.
Well, that puts the 77 back out front. We may have time to bring up whatever happened to you, Matt. That's the 30, who may not have been clear, who punts the 24 into the grass. That's the 30 of, I think that's Alex Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see both sides. I mean, it did like the 24 looked like he overcorrected and it got back into 30 and actually spun himself. So, tough break there. Tough break. 30 thought he was clear.
15 of Clark Franz going a lap down. Alex Forget Berube has retired, getting that bit of telemetry. Not sure what happened to Alex, but he is out.
He was involved in that incident on the backstretch about 4 laps ago. He slammed the outside wall, front bumper came off, probably too much damage. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if he used his quick repair, but I love this angle, Rick, off the corner because you can see if anybody gets loose and slides.
Just like that.
On cue.
Well, Corey Bunch continues to extend his gap over second place, but now that's Jordan Booth has now got around.
Oh, we're wrecking.
Musso.
We're wrecking in 3. Ty Bostic. That started way before that right there.
I see 28 of Joe Musso spinning.
Oh, well, you saw the rest of it right there. That's a 67 and the 1. And that's going to collect Ty Bostic.
Yeah, I think the what occurred, let's go back and let's start that again. We'll take it back from Ty Bostic's position. It's happening in front, and unfortunately, he gets collected. All right, our 12th caution of the night, lap 113 of 151. That will reunite Bunch and Booth on the front row.
Bunch, Booth, and Bumpers. Oh, my. If they ever want to do a podcast, I just gave you the name. There you go. You're welcome.
There you go. All right.
Collect my royalties.
You do that
every week.
All right. We're going to take a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Our mission at Coastal Financial is to provide comprehensive financial planning solutions tailored to each individual's unique needs and goals, with the aim of empowering our clients to make informed financial decisions and achieve their financial potential. Our focus is providing the highest level of service to our clients, including successful business owners, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. Our commitment is to helping you improve your financial position, reach your financial goals, and safeguard your family and business. Our goal is to provide you with the resources and guidance necessary to accomplish these objectives. Our process utilizes a thorough and exclusive financial analysis, efficient implementation of recommendations, and continual reevaluation of fluctuating dynamics. You can find us at coastalfinancial.com or on Facebook at Coastal Financial.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS New Hampshire 160. We are at lap 115 of 151. We're under caution for an incident in the back of the field with a number of drivers. Corey Bunch continues to lead, but he's been battling all night the 41 of Jordan Booth. And we'll see how this happens on this restart. We are not quite ready to go back to green flag, another lap or so. But John, this has been I think a challenging track for most drivers tonight.
Just a little bit. It happens every time we come to a short track and it comes to a New Hampshire style of track. It's always one where everybody is so on the edge, and the room for error it's literally nothing. I mean, like, you have no room. You have no room for error there. So we'll see if these guys can make it back around. I'm confident in them, so we'll see what happens.
All right, 12 cautions in the books. One was a stage break, so that doesn't really count per se, but we have been enjoying the restarts here with Bunch and Booth, so we'll bring that to you live here as these guys go back to try and see if they can leverage each other. Now, they will have a couple of newer drivers behind them, newer as in just in tonight's race, Jacob Musso up to third, Jordan Wenzel fourth, Tony Japs fifth, Scott Thomas in sixth.
Alrighty, here we go. Pace car is down, and green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire. You see the inside line crowding the outside line. That's going to create a little bit of havoc. Oh, in the wall there
Jordan Booth slid up into the safer barrier there. That's not going to help him.
Yeah, you can't wall ride. Can't wall ride around New Hampshire. But Rick, there's a mover right now that I think we should highlight. He's driving what looks like a bright neon yellow car. The 12, Eric Jeffers, up 20 positions, up to P6.
Yeah, he certainly has been biding his time, and as we talked about at the beginning.
Contact between the 30s. He's going around, 79 around. 30 spun on the inside, and we are back under caution again.
That's Scott Thomas and Alex Murphy.
I think we caught that one basically live.
Pretty much. We'll watch it in real time. Yep, that's all it takes. Good for the 40. He did contact the safer barrier, but he got around without really much damage. But you saw it live, and there's a little bit of contact between the 30 and the 79. You saw the 30 running up front early on, but unfortunately, as we cycle through pit stops, you wind up back in traffic. It's hard to pass.
It is. It definitely is, for sure.
All right, with just 30 or so laps to go, we're winding down here, finally here in New Hampshire. Both those drivers, Scott Thomas and Alex Murphy, are coming down pit road. Probably a good thing to see if they can get any damage repaired and get some fresh tires. So those drivers just kind of hanging out on pit road while their cars are getting a little bit of repairs made. It doesn't take much. If you just got a little bit of body work, they can hammer that out. But the field is coming down. They're still under caution. Lights are on the pace car, which means they'll have at least 2 more laps before we go back to green flag racing.
Yep.
So for those of you who have tuned in live, we appreciate you doing so, and thanks for tuning in. We're humbled each week by the amount of folks that tune into our broadcast and like and subscribe to our channel. So thanks again for doing that, and we hope to bring you the best of what iRacing has to offer each and every week.
Well, Rick, we got 30 to go. Corey Bunch back out front. Do you think anybody else has anything for him?
I mean, Jordan Booth has been the only person who has been able to find something. We've seen the lap times very similar between those 2 drivers, but that's been it. And we've been highlighting the good restarts that Corey Bunch has gotten. There's a significant advantage being the leader. Pretty much everybody goes on you, so you've got that extra split second to get out in front. And the only way to overcome that is if that leader makes a mistake.
Absolutely. Exactly right. Exactly right.
All right, here we go, back underway here in New Hampshire.
Alrighty, green flag back in the air. And we're racing again. Just under 30 laps to go. And that 41 wants it badly. He does.
So Corey Bunch with Full Throttle Motorsports up there, and look at the 12 now. Eric Jeffers also with Full Throttle. He is up 22 positions. He is up to 4th.
Yeah, amazing day. Amazing day for him. Called in the pre-race. Watch out for the 12 and look at what he's able to do here at New Hampshire.
Also good showing so far for Jacob Musso. He is he qualified well in 5th, and now is back up to 3rd with, again, just around 25 laps to go. Oh, wrecking. That's a 24 of Matt Persini.
Big wreck.
Number of drivers involved. That's Clark France, the 15. Corey Ennis, Martin Pinnell, and Matt Persini. So the 15's already sliding sideways, and the 24 kind of came right up, sending them around. Oh, the 20 came out of nowhere.
Just like a nosedive.
And just unfortunately, a lot of drivers in the back. Let's go back and see what caused that 20 to do what it did. That's the 1 to his outside there. That's Matt Robinson. Contact between the 50 and the 24. Oh, he tags a 50, and that sends him, unfortunately, on a collision course with the 24.
Yep. Tough break.
Lots of damage going on, lots of debris flying. Here we go. That new damage model is pretty wild. All right, number of drivers who were involved on pit road: Martin Giroux, Matthew Robinson on pit road, Richard Mills on pit road, Clark Franz also engaged in that incident. He is also on pit road. So we are down to our 25 final laps here in New Hampshire. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back.
Welcome to the New York Pizzeria in Cato, New York. The New York Pizzeria has been bringing Central New York the best meals and snacks in the business for generations. Located at the four corners of State Routes 34 and 370, the New York Pizzeria is easy to find and impossible not to love. Aside from delicious pizza served to go or in-house, the food is always fresh and made by the local and talented staff. The New York Pizzeria prides itself on dishes including always fresh pizza by the pie, slice, or sheet with all the topping options you could want. The one-of-a-kind Jenny Wings. A mild, sweet and sour take on traditional bone-in or boneless chicken wings. And fresh-to-order garlic cheese bread, chicken parm subs and a prime variety of cold beverages. Do yourself and a legendary local business a favor and have what is truly one of the originals. The New York Pizzeria, order today.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS series here in New Hampshire. Corey Bunch continues to lead. Jordan Booth and Jacob Musso, Eric Jeffers, Jordan Wenzel, that's your top five. But good showing by the 77 of Corey Bunch. He is definitely, he qualified up front and has continued to stay up front, even working his way back up quickly after a scheduled pit stop. So I guess the question is, these guys pitted last on lap 94. I'm guessing with all these cautions, that may be all they need.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think 94 is the money. Money on the head. Nail on the head, actually.
Yep.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in, though. Looks like we got an EOL for Matt Robinson. That looks to be it, though, but we are approaching just 23 laps to go. Going to be 22 laps to go at the line.
Looks like we had a number of other drivers who are unable to continue. The 67 of Corey Innes and the 15 of Clark Franz both retired. So it's all 5 drivers who are retired, but 23 drivers still on the lead lap.
They are, and those 23 are about to get a green flag here at New Hampshire. Not as good of a restart for Corey Bunch.
Well, he took the inside line, which he hasn't done all night.
That's an interesting move.
Well, yeah, shaking it up, I guess.
Have a little fun with it, why not?
Might as well. You've been dominating the entire race.
Yeah, I don't know, but Jordan Booth is a name I wouldn't want to mess around with. He is quick and he's there. Jordan Booth trying to get around that 77.
The 77 just has he's got this track dialed in. He's got his line. You know, when you're up front, you can run your line. You're not at the mercy of someone who's holding you up or dealing with their braking points. But he has definitely been able to set his own pace.
For sure.
The 50 of Martin Giroux is on pit road. I'm not sure if he has a scheduled stop or he has a penalty to serve. That was a 30-44 last time by Corey Bunch. 20 laps to go here in New Hampshire. Corey Bunch continues to show us the way. Jordan Booth, Jacob Musso, Eric Jeffers, and Brendan Hayes is in 5th.
Rick, this gap is slowly increasing now up to 0.4 of a second. 3 wide going into turn 3. Don't know how that's going to work. And there's a 3, the 24, and the 17th. Still 3 wide out of corner exit to turn 3. They're still there. Looks like the 24 is able to clear the 3.
But you've got the 30 right there below. 20 goes high.
Already drove it in there really deep.
I was going to say, he sent it. Of course, you've got 17 laps to go. If you're going to make a move, you better do something.
Yeah, full send. I mean, like, why not? What do you got to lose? You know, here comes the 30 again on the inside, trying to get around the 17 there of Austin Walton.
They're 3 wide in front with the 24 and the 42. Trying to get under the 42. Farther back in the field, watching the action. Here deeper in the pack, a lot of contact between these drivers. Just 15 laps to go. These guys are door to door. Oh, wrecking.
Oh, here we go. That's a 40 around. And the 81, Jordan Wenzel. Uh-oh.
That's unfortunate for these drivers. Let's go back and take a look what happened to Brendan Hayes. So the 40 is by himself. The 12 in front. He just...
That's our 15th caution of the evening.
Let's go back and try to figure out what happened with the 81. So that incident with the 40 happens way up ahead of him. See the 40 in the top of the screen. He's spinning.
Oh, he's sliding. Yeah, 81's sliding up though. Oh, he's on target to hit him.
Oh, he gets around him. Oh, there's contact.
Yeah, it gets him at the rear end of his car.
Yep, that sends him. All right, that puts the 40, Michael Whitley, Jordan Wenzel, Matt Robinson, Scott Thomas, and Austin Walton on pit road. Okay, 13 laps to go. We're under our 15th caution of the night. Back to green. We'll be down to single-digit laps.
Fantastic. It's a good sign.
Yep. All right, we'll take one more commercial break, and we'll bring the rest of this race to you live. We'll be right back.
Athletic Training Solutions specializes in on-site health and wellness programs for industrial athletes. We focus on the treatment and management of work-related injury and illness, as well as employee health and wellness. As one of the leading providers of occupational health services, We serve businesses of all sizes and types. Our experienced, certified athletic trainers work with each client organization to minimize employee disability, promote employee health and wellness, and help to control healthcare costs. We work with a network of doctors that are trained with an understanding of OSHA recordables and the first aid treatment approach to help keep your employees at work.
Okay, welcome back to the IWM Broadcast Network of the iNRS Racing Series here at New Hampshire in the New Hampshire 160. We are at the closing laps here, just 12 to go. We are still under caution, and we're here because of a spin with the 40 of Brandon Hayes, and unfortunately he also collected the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. So both of those drivers are back in the, they're now deep back in the 19th and 17th position here. Of course, we've been talking all night here with Corey Bunch. Corey Bunch qualified up in front, and Jordan Booth has tried desperately to find a way to match him on these restarts and collect it and catch back up, but it has not worked.
Has not worked. Nope.
Looks like Corey's going to go back to that outside line, which has served him well all night long.
I think it's a good call. But all right, here we go. Green flag back in the air. Oh, what a good restart there by the 12, pushing that 77 down. The outside lane somewhat stalls, but here comes the 41 of Jordan Booth trying to slide in front of that 12. As we now are at 10 laps to go. That 41 is there. He might try to make a move going into turn 3. Oh, no, he slipped back a little bit.
25
oh, Rick got a car sideways. He saved it. 42 saved it.
Yes,
wide.
Tony Japs. Still 3 wide. And the 22 of Bostic goes right around.
And
we're all stacked up.
Yep.
40 involved again. Unfortunately, they were mired back there from that last incident. So Bostic in the 22 down low, 24 of Matt Perosini up a little bit higher. I think that's just, you're getting down into that low line. Such a, it's a risky place to be.
Yep, it is.
There's 13 of Nick Alves. It's going to send the 22 around. What happened to the 40? I'm guessing he was punted. Wow, he went around from below. Let's tries to get under the 3. See the 22 spinning in front. I think he just tried to slow.
Oh man, he was.
Yeah, just tried to slow down and spun himself
Yeah,
out.
5 had. Yeah.
It spun right in front of the 20 of Pinnell. All right. Looks like the sun's back out a bit here. We've been kind of
just a little bit
overcast in a good bit of this race. Of course, with 7 laps to go, we're going to go back to green with maybe just 3 or 4.
Yep.
Well, that's our 16th caution of the night. I think we talked about there being around that amount at the halfway point. All things are kind of playing out. Love the averages, hate the averages. Whatever it is, it's just math. I don't know who's got. I'm going through our leaderboard trying to figure out how anybody has anything for Corey Bunch. I just don't see it.
I don't either.
I mean, I think the only person that can beat Corey Bunch is Corey Bunch.
Yeah.
Driver, tactical error, mistake. That's what will do you in. But he has been so consistent all race long. You know. It's going to take that kind of mistake or someone to get into him to upset his car. And here we are, back to green. Great restart by Corey Bunch.
Green flag. 5 to go. We got some contact between the 13 and the 81 and the 42. We got 3 wide. Rick, I don't know if we're going to be making this through to turn 2. 10's on the inside of the 12. Oh, man, they are really sending it now. Full send.
25 takes over that second place position.
Oh, 28 sideways, 40 sideways. Oh, goodness gracious.
We are back out under caution with 4 laps to go, which probably means we'll go back under a green-white checker condition. At 40's, he's tore up. He's got a broken toe link.
Aye, aye, aye.
He may have a quick repair. We'll see momentarily if he's got that. If he can get into his pit. He may not have a quick repair.
I don't know if he does.
That may be it for Brennan. All right, so let's see what happened. He's obviously got some speed, and the 28 is a little bit slower in front. There's contact. More contact. And then more contact. All right. That may be the end of the 40 for tonight. Travis Bennett, who we were talking about earlier, is in the chat. He says almost glad I missed this one. You know what? It hasn't been. I'm guessing if you ask most of these drivers, it has not been the most fun that they have had on the track.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's all except for Corey Bunch. Now he's going to have somebody new on his inside or outside, probably on his inside this time. He's got the 25 of Jacob Musso. You know, Jacob started 5th. He's had a great, really a great showing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great run for him. See if he's able to capitalize off maybe something surprising here. Well, you never know.
This is definitely what Jacob needed for sure. Now, Jacob Musso is one of those drivers who's sitting right there on the cut line. He is actually in 16th place. So having a good showing tonight, coming in 2nd, would be huge for the 25 of Jacob Musso.
Would be. Absolutely.
And just kind of going back through our list, Eric Jeffers is in 6th. Eric is in 15th spot. He needs a good showing. He's getting that. Who is not, who's struggling a bit? Matt Robinson. He's now he's up to 14th, but he's right there. Tony Japs is in the 17th. He's just on the outside. Tony is currently in 9th. Good showing for Tony. So, I think there's going to be some definite movers. We'll see how this affects the playoff standing once the results of tonight's event are recorded.
We will. Alrighty. Green, white checker here for the iNRS series at New Hampshire. So can Jacob Mousseau move his way into the lead? We'll see. Green flag back in the air. He was not ready for that one. Caught sleeping. 2 laps to go at New Hampshire. And we got 3 wide. Oh boy. Hold on to it. That flat part of the track is going to get slick for that 41, especially off corner exit. This is not going to work very well.
Holds on and moves up high, but that
3
puts
wide in the back.
The 99 of Tyler Lem up to second.
And we're 3 wide in multiple places, Rick. This is going to be tight getting to the finish if we can get it. White flag has been waved. White flag in the air. This race is official.
It's a
Next
drag
flag
race.
will end the race.
Drag race between the 25 of Mousseau and Tyler Lem. This may be a photo finish here with these drivers, but the 41 is not done. He's trying to figure out how can he get around. He pushes the 25. There's contact.
Moves him up. All right.
Corey
And
Bunch
there you have
wins.
it. Corey Bunch got the win, and we're wrecking in the back.
That's the 81 and the 79. I think that's Scott Thomas. Backwards.
Pull the Kyle Busch. Pull the Kyle Busch.
Across the finish line with contact with the 81 of Jordan Wenzel.
Kyle Busch or Lightning McQueen, depending on what kind of fan you are. I support both. So, but what a finish and what a run. Corey Bunch, Jacob Mousseau, Tyler Lim. First place, that makes a lot of sense. But if you told me Jacob Mousseau and Lim were going to get podium finishes tonight, I'd have been like, oh, why? Like, that's a big shakeup in the standings. But they were at the right place at the right time and got it done and executed. Great results for them. That's a great run for them for the playoffs.
All right, looks like results are in.
Alrighty. Corey Bunch got the win in tonight's iNRS New Hampshire 160 presented by the iNRS and Admin Box in P2. Jacob Mousseau in 3rd, Tyler Lim 4th, Jordan Booth 5th, Vernon Broadbeck 6th, Eric Jeffers 7th, Alex Murphy 8th, Vince Burns 9th, Mr. Matt Perusini, and 10, Tony Japs.
All right, in 11th, Martin Giroux. 12th, Nick Alves. Michael Whitley Jr. finishes in 13th. Matt Robinson in 14th. Austin Walton in 15th. Ron Fitting in 16th. Joe Musso in 17th and 18th. Ty Bostic, 19th. Jordan Wenzel, and 20th, Scott Thomas.
In 21st, Mark Pennell, 22nd, Richard Mills, Brendan Hayes, 23rd, Corey Ennis, 24th, Clark Friends, 25th, Alex Forge Ruby in 26th, and Dan Hughes finishes in 27th.
I think there was one driver, Mike Wheel, finishes in 28th.
And Mike Will, 28th. Mike Will, 28th.
All right, let's see if we can find our 3rd place finisher, Tyler Lem. Bear with us here. Ah, there we go. All right, Tyler, congratulations on your 3rd place finish here at New Hampshire.
Appreciate it, man.
You know, we saw you at the front, and then all of a sudden, you kind of slipped back a bit, and then out of nowhere, right there at the front at the end.
Yeah, it was just kind of one of those nights. You know, things didn't go great for me early, and I just kept trying to chug along on every caution we got. Maybe pick up a few spots here and there. You know, just battle through the attrition.
Well, and certainly there was a lot of that with. Was it 17 cautions tonight, John, or 16?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 17, I think.
Yep. And you saw yourself. I think you were involved in an incident as well. So to get to here, third place, that's a fantastic way, fantastic finish.
Yeah, one of those nights, one of those tracks that I have been happy walking away with the top 10. Then I started creeping towards the top 5. I'm like, hell, we might be in this. And of course, restarting outside and in the dominant lane, I'm like, man, maybe we can win. But congrats to Corey, and had fun tonight.
You got it. Any shout outs tonight?
Oh, I have family watching every night. Love you all so much.
You got it. All right, that's Tyra Lem finishing in third place tonight here at New Hampshire. See if we can bring Mr. Jacob Musso here in the broadcast booth. Jacob, congratulations on your P2 finish.
Thank you.
That was a hard fought finish there for sure. Wasn't sure whether you're gonna pull it out. There's a lot of battles going on. It's so hard to go after that leader, but you certainly had a lot of competition there, all wanting that second place finish.
Yeah, Corey was absolutely checked out. I was actually lucky to get a second place there. Jordan missed a shift, a couple restarts to go. I got second. I'm like, all right, no caution. Then the caution came out, and I knew it was going to be a challenge on the restart on the bottom. I was struggling in first gear, so I had to do restarts in second. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be a tough battle with the guys around me there for second, and everybody was going for it. And I'm just lucky I was able to save it after getting punted there and washed up the track with the 99. But I'm just glad I was able to stay P2.
Absolutely, and we saw that all night long. This is one of those tracks where you're starting in first gear, and there's only if you can, there's only a fraction of maybe a second or two you can stay in first gear as you hammer the throttle. So it's super easy to make a mistake.
Oh yeah, it was really challenging to keep it in first gear. Like the guys in the front, like Corey and Jordan, they were using first gear, and I tried it one restart and fell flat on my face, so I know I wasn't going to be able to do that. So I'm just glad I was able to survive.
No worries. Hey, congratulations, though, on your finish. This is something you definitely needed points-wise. This is definitely going to help you as we work our way towards the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's all I've been trying to get is stage points, then good finishes. And I was able to come back from getting spun earlier and got some stage points, and second place, I'll take that too with great points tonight.
You got it. Any shout-outs tonight?
All the boys at GCAM Racing, my teammates Joe, Corey, and John, and Cody. They're always in my corner. They're a lot of fun to race with, and I want to thank Josh and all them, all the admins for a great league. It's a lot of fun to come here and run. Most of the time it's clean, maybe not tonight, but most of the time it's a lot of fun.
You got it. All right, that's your second place finisher, Mr. Jacob Musso. And now we welcome Mr. Corey Bunch here into the broadcast booth. Corey, congratulations.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, man, I'm super excited, man. I can't wait to get a hold of that lobster, man. Where's it at? Let's go. Where's it at?
John's cooking it still, I think.
Yeah, it's still
yeah.
cooking. It'll be at your doorstep tomorrow morning. How about that?
Sure, heck yeah. Well, question for you. It's not as tall as me, right? Because I'm pretty not a tall person.
It's pretty tall, dude.
Big,
it's a big lobster.
It's a big boy. It's a big boy.
I guess I'll probably get on my step stool and hold it up next to me there, probably. But either way, real excited. I could say dominating, but just with the amount of cautions, just a lot of cautions.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of pacing, but but the thing is, forgetting the caution laps, you had a great qualifying effort. You were dominating in practice. We saw that, but more importantly, your restarts were consistent. But even though your restarts were consistent, you continued to advance your lead on those green flags. So you had it dialed in, and it showed.
Yeah, I just knew because I think me and Booth was probably the two best out of the whole field, and I was just trying to do everything I can to try to keep him behind me, and which included, trying to mix up my restarts and that was one of them I did where I really fooled him, and I think it was probably the caution before the stage break or something like that, but I was like, all right, I got him guessing. So it's as long as we can just keep it consistent, like going back and forth, we'll be okay. And I mean, and I really thought once the track cooled down, he was going to get me. I feel like he was. I mean, I think we was probably maybe hundredths off each other, but that's what made me think that me and him was two of the best. But never really had that long green flag run to try to figure out who would be the better. But I'm just glad this number 77 Benjamin Moore Ford Mustang was on top 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row, absolutely. Well, congratulations on your finish. Any additional shout-outs tonight?
I just got to thank Full Throttle Motorsports for the team effort. We tested a little bit together, and if of course, it's usually how it works out is that we test together, we complain how much it stinks and how we can't drive it and this, that, and the other. And, you get here in the room and we're actually not that half bad. I give props to Eric too. I mean, out of all the miserable weeks that he's had, and, it comes up with a 6th or at least, a top 10, we'll say. So that's
Yep.
Props to him. Whitley got caught up in some stuff. I don't know where he finished, but I'm sure it wasn't as great. But
he wound up 13th.
No, 13th. Well, that's not terrible. I was thinking like 20th or something like that.
Yeah, he was caught up.
He had a penalty. He had a penalty, and then of course Travis. Unfortunately, he wasn't here. He had some internet issues, but he was there in spirit. So just gotta thank you for that. And then, of course, thank you guys for the broadcast of the race, and Josh and Scott, thank you for the league. When you have some green flag racing, it's really fun. It's just wish there was something we could do about it, but it's just, I guess it's just the nature of it at this point.
It's New Hampshire.
Car, the track, and then New Hampshire, like you said. So
you got it. All right, well, there's your winner. John, any closing remarks?
Just want to say congratulations, Corey, on a great win. I mean, it was dominating. I got to say, it was dominating. And next week we head to Nashville, my home track. So it's going to be a fun one under the lights at Nashville Super Speedway. So make sure to tune in next week as the iNRS series keeps on chugging along their season. But congrats to Corey, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single thing on the IWM Broadcast Network.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great night.